my So Quilty Life. Welcome back to my channel. I'm so happy you're here. Today I've got a fun video planned for you today, and it's all about flower stand. Okay, so we are almost done with the flower stand block of the month. We are currently in month 5, and today I'm going to be showing a step-by-step tutorial of how to make block 10. But first I wanted to show you the quilt really quick and point out where the block is so you can see it in the quilt. So this is the flower stand quilt, and these right here, these two blocks that are in the bottom portion of the flower stand, here and here, are our blocks for month 5. So in the previous video, I will link it below, we made this cute block right here that has the welcome to the flower stand sign. But in the next block, we're going to be making these 4 little flowers, almost like little signs of like what you could purchase at the flower stand. So those little flowers right there. So I'm going to put it on my top camera so you can see it a little more up close and personal. So here is the quilt, and here is the block we are going to be making today. We've got some cute little flowers here, little tulips, so cute, little daisies. Now we have made all of these blocks before, so that's going to be fun for this tutorial because I'm actually not going to go step by step into how to make each of these blocks. You can check those out in previous flower stand videos. So this video actually will probably go pretty quickly, which I'm really excited about. But you should feel pretty confident in making each of these flowers because you've made them several times before. So here is our block today right here. So are we ready to get started? Okay, so first you do need your month 5 flower pack. This is your flower stand flower pack, and you need to pull out that pattern. So this pattern has the instructions to make block 9, which we made in the previous video, and the block we are making today in this video, which is block 10. Now, this pattern does have some corrections to it, so I thought I would go over those really quickly. So no corrections to block 9, but in block 10, under the cutting instructions for the flower background, this is for the white background. Piece I, you actually need to cut 5, not 4. So these corrections will be on my website under the support tab. If you go to pattern corrections, you will see those there. But just in case you haven't corrected your pattern yet, that is a correction. And then another correction is on step 16, 17, and 18. I don't know what I was doing, but I have the wrong fabric swatch for that step. So in your cutting instructions, it has the right fabric swatch, but for some reason in the diagram, I didn't change it. It's wrong. And then on step 20, it does pick up to the right fabric. So just right there is your correction. And then on step 22, there is a correction. So for step 22, and 23. So for step 22, you are going to be sewing one of your corner squares on first, pressing it, then assembling the other. They both won't line up at the top because there's not enough room. They do overlap for that little bit of seam allowance. So just pay close attention to that. That's a new one. I'll put that on my website. And then step 23, your F and your M actually will touch. In the pattern, it shows a little bit of a gap, but they actually touch. So those are all the corrections that I have for block 10. Now, why don't we go ahead and jump right in? Okay, so let's go ahead and get started. Open up those flower packs and open up your flower stand pattern to page 5. So on page 5, you're going to find all the cutting instructions you need in order to cut out the block. I've already done that, as you can see here, and you can see that I've already made some blocks because like I just mentioned, I want this tutorial to go a little faster, and I know you have all made these blocks before, so I just went ahead and made them so that we can move on. So here are my cut pieces. So go ahead and look at your pattern and cut out all the pieces that you need. There are a ton of pieces. It goes all the way from A to II. Now don't forget to use your cute little alphabet markers that were included in your month 1 flower pack. So here I have laid out the pieces that I still need to assemble with you guys in this video. So I went ahead and laid them out on my design board. I love these things. I love to stay organized so much when I'm sewing. So we're going to go ahead and move on to step 1. So for step 1 in all my patterns is drawing a diagonal line on the back of several fabric squares. So you need to draw a diagonal line on the back of F, M, S, U, and Y. squares. Now, I actually don't do that anymore because I use the handy dandy diagonal seam tape by Cluck Cluck. So this is what it looks like. It has some lines on there, and all I do is I stick this to my machine and I line my corner. So you know, you sew on the diagonal line. I align my top corner with that red line and I sew all the way down. Easy peasy. I will link this below, but if you do have to draw a diagonal line, why not use a Frixon marker? That sounds like an infomercial. I'm not selling these, guys, but I love Frixon markers, and I just got a pink one and it's super cute. I'm really excited today. I think this is because it's my last video I need to film, and tomorrow we launch month 5 of Flower Stand, and I'm just so giddy and I'm so excited for you guys. So I have linked these below, but these actually evaporate with heat, so I love it. So if you do have to draw a diagonal line on the back of your squares, use a Frixon marker. Love this. I used to use a pencil and I felt like it dragged and would like pull my fabric a little bit, but yeah! Okay. Anyways, let's get back to it. Okay. So we're gonna go ahead and get started. Now, I mentioned that I did go ahead and make a few of the units so that we can move on. So you're gonna go ahead and work through steps 1 all the way through step, let's see, step 25. So go ahead and do that, and when you do that, you can meet me back here and we'll continue on with the pattern, or you can just watch along so you know what you need to do. Okay, so I'm gonna actually start with step 26. So for step 26, we're taking all of our cute little flower units. Look how cute they are, so cute. I love, there's just something about a cute little small block that I just love. I think it's so adorable. Okay, so here are the 4 little flower units. So you'll have flower 1 unit, flower 2 unit, flower 3 unit, and flower 4 unit. I bet you couldn't guess those names. So here are my units. I would have to look at the pattern to see which one's which I will later, but here are your flower units. So adorable. I'll lay them in my top camera. This is what they look like right here. So we're gonna go ahead and move on to step 26. So for step 26, all we're doing is we are assembling our fabric S squares on those top and bottom corners of all of our flower units. So super simple, just our stitch and flip, corner stitch and flips, our stitch and flips right here. You're gonna assemble on your diagonal line, and then you are gonna press toward fabric S squares. So I'm gonna go ahead and assemble all of those, and then we will move on to step 27. Guys, this tutorial is probably gonna be my quickest tutorial ever. That is my goal. Okay, I'm gonna sew these and I will be right back. Okay, I just got done with step 26, just sewing those little corner square units on corner square. Yeah, see, there's so many things that you can call these units: stitch and flip, corner squares, lots of other things. So I just got done with those, and we're about to move on to step 27. So here, I'm gonna go ahead and lay out my blocks how they need to be in the order that they need to be in. Okay. So now for step 27, we are assembling 2 fabric P's, 1 fabric Q, 2 fabric R, and our flower units. So let's go ahead and spread these a little more wide. So we need our fabric P. Well, we got 2 of those at the top and the bottom here. We need our fabric Q in the middle here. And then we need our 2 fabric R's right here. Okay, we do have several steps within one step. So what I like to say, I know you guys already know, what do we do with the arrows with the numbers? Okay, not that you can talk back to me, but when there is in my diagram an arrow with a number. So arrows, black arrows, mostly always represent pressing direction. Pressing direction, yeah. But when it has a number attached, it also means your order of assembly. So order of assembly and the way you press it, because you have to press it before you can move on to the next order of assembly. So that's kind of how in my brain it worked. So we have a couple things we need to do first. We need to assemble our fabric R to these 2 units first. Same with up here. These need to assemble. Then after that, it kind of doesn't really matter what order you go, but we're gonna stick to what I said in here. We're gonna assemble fabric P to the top. Then we're gonna assemble fabric Q to these 2. And then fabric P at the bottom. So I'm gonna go ahead and do that, and when I get back, we are gonna be so close to being done. Okay, I just finished with step 27. Here is my flower sign unit. It looks so good. It's actually a little crooked, but I can barely tell, so maybe you can barely tell. I'm not pointing it out to you, but I'm just gonna go with it. Okay, So we're gonna set that aside and we're gonna move on to step 28. Okay, so now we're gonna move on to step 28. So for step 28, we need 2 fabric in rectangles right here and 2 fabric O rectangles. We also need our fabric U squares. So all we're gonna do is place 2 fabric U squares at the top corners of each of these rectangles. You're gonna assemble on your diagonal line. You're gonna press towards fabric U, and I'm gonna go ahead and do that, and when we get back, we'll be on step 29. Okay, I just got done with step 28. So here we have all of our pieces. Here, and here, and here. So now we're gonna go ahead and move on to step 29. So for step 29, we just need our O units and our fabric T squares. And all we're doing is assembling our fabric T squares to the sides of our O unit. So I'm gonna go ahead and do that. And when I get back, we will be putting this block all together and we'll be done. That was so fast. Okay, I just finished up with step 29, and here we have our edge units. Okay, so now let's move on to step 30. So for step 30, we're putting the entire block together. So I'm gonna go ahead and clean up my workspace really quick. Gotta put all these little alphabet markers back in this little bag to keep them safe because I already found the O and the P on my floor, which is not good. Okay, let's do this. Okay, so let's put all that aside. Let's go ahead and take our flower sign unit. And what we're going to do is we are going to assemble our N units to the side first. So our N units to the side. And then we're going to assemble. Just be very careful that you have these turned the right way. So these brown pieces should be touching each other here and here. Some of you have sewn them like this on accident, and some of you have accidentally sewn them like that. So just be careful to sew these correctly. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and do that, and when I get back, we will be all finished. Okay, I just got done with step 30, and that means we are finished with the block. Okay, so here is my finished block 10. Oh, it turned out so good, and I'm so happy that I went ahead and assembled all those flower blocks, or this tutorial could have been a lot longer. Don't forget, you can check out the past block tutorials for making these blocks if you do need a little bit of help. I know that they do have a lot of small pieces, so just know that you can go back to previous months' block tutorials to get help on those. So here is my finished block. Oh, it is so cute. So cute. I love it. I love it. So we only have one more official month left of the Flower Stand block of the month, where we have 2 more blocks, and then we get to put it all together. So I hope you enjoyed this tutorial. I also hope you enjoyed making block 10 and block 9 from the previous tutorial and are just having a lot of fun with this Flower Stand block of the month. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to my videos so you don't miss out on anything that I have releasing soon. I hope you all have a wonderful weekend and get in your comfy clothes and get sewing. I'll see you next time. Bye, guys.